In this celebrity culture, not even the Kardashians are as popular as the royal family the world over. The world went crazy when Kate Middleton married the prince. In 2018, the internet is going crazy over the upcoming wedding between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Now, there is a lot the royal family allows the public eye to see. Even so, there's a lot more that they prefer to keep secret. So here are 10 hidden details the royal family doesn't want you to know. But before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. With this being said, let's begin. Number 10. The royals' connections with Hitler. Now, without a doubt, Adolf Hitler is one of the most hated people to ever live. It is therefore no surprise that the detail of their connection with Hitler is not widely publicized. Wallace Simpson was an American lover of King Edward VIII. It is said that Wallace had an affair with then Foreign Minister for the Nazis, Joachim von Ribbentrop. The king and his lover visited Germany in the early 1930s to meet with Hitler. It is also believed that the king-in-waiting and his lover actually supported the Nazis during the war. If this was not reason enough to rule out Simpson as the right suitor for the king, she was also a 2 times divorced woman. Even so, the king chose to love her in the place of power and abdicated the throne to marry the love of his life. It's not hard to see why the royal family doesn't want you to know these details. Even the thought of the two holding Nazi sympathies portrays the royalties in a very bad light. Number 9. The dark side of Princess Diana. As much as the media paints Princess Diana as a saint, she also battled her inner demons. This is well documented in her book, Diana, Her True Story, where she gave out details about her struggle with bulimia and depression. She says the conditions arose from her estranged relationship with Prince Charles. When she was pregnant with Prince William, it is alleged that she threw herself down a staircase. Princess Diana was obsessed with staying thin just to please her husband. In the early days of their marriage, Prince Charles would put his arm around her waist and observe that she had gained weight. This worsened her obsession with weight management. It is believed that the love she had for her husband is what led to her depression as she watched her marriage fall apart. Now, these details as captured in the book make it possible for people to see Diana as a flawed human, something the royal family was not too keen to share. Number 8. A queen's boyfriend's wife mysterious death. In the mid-1500s, it was rumored that Queen Elizabeth I was involved in a love affair with Robert Dudley. The problem was that this man was still married to Amy Robsart. Later on, it would seem like the work of fate or a murder would lead to the death of the wife. The rumored affair would go on for 2 more years before the body of Amy was found at the foot of a staircase with a broken neck. Not long after this mysterious death, the rumor mills were running with the idea that Dudley murdered his own wife to be able to make his affair public and even move a step further with the queen. The rumors were so rampant that it forced the queen to end the affair to save face. It was not possible for them to marry in these conditions. Some people were of the notion that Amy committed suicide as she could not handle the heartbreak stemming from her husband's affair. Others believed that her fall off the staircase that led to her death was accidental. However, according to a coroner's report that was discovered recently, there were 2 injuries in Amy's head. This indicates that her head was hit before she fell down the staircase. Even though Dudley ensured that the wife's death was investigated, he was the prime suspect in the crime, which remains a mystery to this day. Number 7. Prince Charles's illicit affair with Camilla. Even though that they are married today, the relationship was a result of an affair that started in the early 90s. While still married to Princess Diana, Prince Charles found himself at the center of controversy alongside Camilla when a transcript of their secret phone calls was leaked. The tapes were leaked in 1992, and this led to the Camilla-gate scandal. In the recordings, the prince could be heard flirting explicitly with Camilla about their love affair. While it was evident that there was a divide between Prince Charles and Princess Diana, this affair still left a black mark on the royal family. Allegedly, the royal family managed to make the recordings disappear. However, after a while, they resurfaced and were played for the whole world to hear. Later, investigators found out that most of the royal family members were using phones that had been tapped. In 1996, the marriage between Princess Diana and Prince Charles came to an end. In 2005, Prince Charles finally married Camilla even after her name had been dragged through the mud and she was termed as a homewrecker. Prince Charles and Camilla met back in 1970 before either of them were married. It is rumored that they had a short romance before they reconnected years later and had the affair. Number 6. Non-royal bloodlines. Now, the royal family has always tried to ensure that they marry into royal families. In 2012, King Richard III's bones were found buried under a parking lot in the city of Leicester. A mitochondrial DNA test was done to ascertain that indeed these were the king's remains. The samples matched with those of 2 current female relatives. What surprised the royal family is the fact that the Y chromosome samples did not match any of the males in the royal lineage. This means that there was a child whose father was not of royal blood. Because of the fear of a scandal, the child was passed on as a royal from the House of Windsor. While they would have loved to have found out where the snafu originated from, it may as well date back 500 years. According to historians, John of Gaunt, who lived between 1340 and 1399, was the illegitimate child of Edward III. It is rumored that John was actually the son of a butcher. If this were true, it would mean that Henry IV and any monarch who descended after them are not royalty. Number 5. Prince Philip's alleged wedding night romance. The Duke of Edinburgh may have cheated on Queen Elizabeth the night of their wedding. Prince Philip married Queen Elizabeth in 1947 and has ever since been the subject of rumored affairs. There was a documentary that delved into the royal family and claimed that Prince Philip has always had a wandering eye and hands too. It is rumored that Prince Philip may have had sexual relations with another woman on the night after marrying Queen Elizabeth. His wayward ways were so embarrassing to the Queen, so much so that she even succumbed to advice from the royal aides to send the then young prince on an overseas tour. This is how the prince found himself on the royal yacht away from the Queen. Even then it was rumored that he took a female companion on the cruise. Prince Philip has been linked to numerous affairs, including one with Princess Alexandra, the Queen's cousin, and author Daphne du Maurier. There are also rumors of his raunchy behavior in underground parties and private gentlemen's clubs in different parts of Europe. Even amidst the rumors, he has always been his wife's #1 support. Number 4. King George's meeting with a tree. In the early 1800s, King George had started to show signs of insanity. He was king for 35 years before he began to lose his mind. According to witnesses, during a drive through the Great Park of Windsor, the king asked for the buggy to stop before he got down. He allegedly started talking to a tree as though it were a live person. He was seen waving his arms as though it was a two-way conversation. He even shook hands with the branches. This behavior prompted one of his aides to ask whether he was okay, to which the king retorted, "Of course, I am feeling well," and ordered the aides not to interrupt his conversation with the King of Persia. How is that for insane? Number 3. Kate's love for pole dancing. Now, the Queen has never been one to mince her words. It is no wonder she had to teach Kate Middleton how to behave in public now that she was part of the royal family. Kate seemed to have an easy time fitting into the family and even changed from common folk to royalty with ease. She seems to have heeded the Queen's teaching fast enough. According to former bodyguards to the royal family, Prince Harry wears fake tattoos since he can never wear real ones. Also, they revealed Kate's love for pole dancing. The former bodyguards say that Kate would take off to pole dancing classes while covering her head with a scarf for anonymity. She says she enjoys pole dancing because it is a good way to keep fit and it's fun. Number 2. Prince Harry has been a guest at a rehab facility. Prince Harry's fun-loving ways have been known from the time he was a lad. He has made front-page news more times than the royal family has allowed the world to actually see. What most people do not know is the fact that Prince Harry has substance abuse issues. While still a student at Eton, he was known as Hash Harry and was known as a lover of marijuana. As a 16-year-old then, he admitted to smoking joints amongst his friends and would partake in underage drinking at parties hosted by his older friends. The perks of being a prince, including the ability to drink in a pub long after closing hours and gaining access to adult parties while still underage. The prince first experimented with alcohol and drugs at home when his dad would leave him alone in their Highgrove home for the summer. With time, his use for drugs became eminent and his dad took interest to find out what was the root of the abuse. After an honest and open conversation, Prince Harry was taken to Featherstone Lodge, a drug recovery center in South London. From then on, Prince Charles kept a keen eye on his son, never letting him out of his sight until he was old enough to handle responsibility. Number 1. Queen's handbag is used to send signals. The Queen adorns a Launer handbag that has more importance than just an accessory that completes her wardrobe. According to a report, the Queen's handbag is usually customized to meet some of her requirements for a handbag. For instance, unlike other Launer handbags, the Queen's usually comes with customized longer handles to ensure it doesn't get in the way of shaking hands. This also makes it possible for her to carry it on her upper arm. She also prefers it to be easy to open. Each bag comes with a matching glasses case, mirror, and a matching purse. While it may seem like a way for it to complement her style, Queen Elizabeth II makes use of her handbag to send out secret signals to her security detail. It is mostly used to signal the staff that she is ready to move on from a conversation. She does this by shifting her handbag from one hand to the other. This indicates that she is ready to end a chat. She will also place the bag on a table during an event to indicate that she is ready to leave. Placing it on the table notifies her staff that she will leave in 5 minutes. If she needs to leave sooner or move from conversation sooner, she will usually also twist her wedding ring to signal. Attention Daily Top Teners! We have breaking news. A new channel alert. The most entertaining channel on YouTube is finally here, and they are giving away free iPhone 10s. All you have to do is subscribe to come along to win. It's full of super exciting cool facts, riddles, life hacks, and mysteries to keep you entertained. But don't take my word for it. Click on the screen now to see the latest video, or click the round yellow sun looking button and subscribe now. Link is also in the description. See you all there.